Today's topic is the 16 signs of financial literacy. Financial literacy is not a quality that everyone has. Despite the internet being there for all of our financial-related questions and having a firm grip on our finances, it's still classified as a Herculean task. In some cases. We don't believe that it's our fault. For starters, the economy has been in a downward spiral for as long as we can remember. The cost of groceries is not cheap. Despite these difficulties, some people have managed to keep their heads above water by becoming financially literate. We'll take a look at 16 exciting ways you can identify financially literacy, and of course, how you can become one yourself. It sounds good. Let's jump right into it. Welcome to Think Facts, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Number 1, you always work with a budget. A budget is a word that prevents you from overspending. Therefore, a budget is a vital sign of financial discipline even when you want to. It means that you've created a concise and specific way you want to spend your money. Now, having a budget typically reflects your needs rather than your wants. But if you earn more than enough, allocating a few dollars for that item you've always wanted shouldn't be a big deal. Anyway, the point of a budget is to help you make sure you spend your money on the right things. Your budget must include your basic needs, such as housing bills, groceries, transportation, etc. However, funding is only adequate when you stick to it. I mean, come on, what's the point of making a budget if you know you're just going to blow your money on useless crap? A budget is essential, but having the discipline to stick to it is even more critical. Preparing for price increases in your budget is vital, because we all know they happen regularly. Number 2, you have an emergency fund account. That seems a bit extreme, but it could be your reality. If you haven't gotten an emergency fund account, emergencies are unpredictable. There might suddenly be a need for thousands of dollars one day. And if this happens, what's your next course of action? Withdraw everything you've saved up for your kids' college fund, or dip into your family savings. Whatever you choose to do, there's only one thing we're sure of. You will regret it in a few months. But with an emergency fund account, you don't have to worry, because the entire point of the report is to keep you afloat. For example, this fund could be used during emergencies to pay high hospital bills or sustain your family. Number 3, if you lose your job, you've got insurance. Having an emergency fund account is excellent, and having insurance is basically like taking that a step further. They're supposed to help you bounce right back after something wrong happens. This could be a tragic accident, the death of a loved one, a robbery, or even a fire. Whatever the misfortune is, you can rest assured that there is insurance to help you cover it. Now we understand that the endless paperwork with insurance puts most people off. But this process is essential for the company, as it helps them determine what you're entitled to have insurance. Every person and family needs it. It is not a luxury. And, of course, it's a sign that this person has got their finances under control. Number 4, you know your taxes, and you have never overpaid. It can be overwhelming to try and understand your tax information. Still, because it's one of the highest expenses in every household, it's only fitting that we dedicate enough time to understanding it. Understanding your tax information can be an intelligent way to minimize it in the long run. Also, you just might be paying more taxes than you need to. There could be a mistake buried somewhere, and only a proper review from your end will expose it. And if you think you don't have the experience or knowledge to understand your taxes, that's fine. An accountant can assist you in identifying areas where you may make savings by working for you. As a result, your long-term tax burden will eventually be reduced. Number 5, you've got a separate savings account. Financially educated individuals know there's a difference between an emergency fund account insurance and a savings account. Typically, a savings account contains college funds, family needs, or money for a new home. Having a savings account shows that you are planning for the future, so you won't be at the mercy of loan sharks when you need it. Also, having a savings account shows a certain level of discipline, as it shows you don't have to spend every dollar you earn. If you're struggling to save monthly money, How about starting with a tiny percentage of your income? It could be as little as 2%, 3%, 5%, or as bold as 10 to 20%. Whatever percentage you choose, ensure it won't affect your basic needs and is something you can contribute consistently. Number 6, pay all of your bills on time. Increase while growing up. You might have been fed the sentiment that it sucks to have an obligation, but it doesn't. Debt is necessary when you want to buy a house or a car. Do you want to know what sucks? Not paying your debts on time or missing your payments is a crime. Financially educated individuals understand that handling debts responsibly increases their chances of getting another and directly affects their credit score. Therefore, you should always prioritize repaying debts and include them in your monthly budget. Sounds like a great start. Number 7, you make wise investments. Have you ever explored the possibility of your money earning more money for you? Well, that's precisely what investment can do for you. It would help if you considered investing to make more money on the side without necessarily putting in more hours. Here's the great thing about investment opportunities. Several options are available, and you can find investment plans for as little as 100. But they are. Knowing how and what to invest in is where the real work begins. While stocks and bonds are the most popular options today, they might not be the right fit for you. Even if they are, you must be sure you're investing in the right companies before committing to any investment plan. So be sure to learn everything there is to know about them. And you could also hire a professional financial advisor to help guide you. Number 8, you set financial goals. Why are goals important? They give us long-term visions to help us organize our time, skills, and resources to achieve positive results. It's the same with setting financial goals. They help us see the big and small picture and determine what we need to do to get to that point. For example, do you want a new home? Well, what steps do you have to take to make that possible? A new job, a savings account, or having long and short-term financial goals helps you to make more informed financial decisions and eventually guides you to financial freedom. Number 9, you understand diversification. We've mentioned that financially educated individuals are always looking to invest, but what increases their chances of getting more significant pay? Diversification means that you don't put all your money in one particular niche. Instead, you diversify by putting your money in different industries and investments. Usually, this lowers your risk of losing money while increasing your chances of success. Diversification is a modern saying. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Number 10, you always think of the future. Financially educated individuals are always fixated on the future, creating a financial structure that reflects the sentiment. Nobody wants to be stranded in the future due to poor financial decisions. So the right time to act is now. Always thinking of the future also prevents situations from taking you by surprise. It's pretty logical that if you plan for something, you're better suited to handle it when the time eventually comes. Number 11, you stay up to date with financial news. Being financially responsible also means that you have to stay updated with financial news that concerns you, and this is even more important when you have an investment portfolio. Having the proper knowledge will help you determine the next step, and it will also affect your financial decisions. Let's imagine that a financial analyst predicts an astronomical increase in the price of goods and services. Well, seeing that this affects you directly, wouldn't it be a good idea to decide to invest in real estate? This is because real estate does relatively well during searches for inflation. Now that's just one example. You're bound to discover more profitable financial tips when you stay updated and conduct extensive research on your own. Number 12, you are disciplined with money. Whether we admit it or not, being disciplined with money is a core sign of financially educated individuals. Being disciplined means you're never wasteful with your money. You follow your budget closely and you never miss your debt payments. Discipline with money also suggests that you don't buy things on impulse or pay for items you don't need. Number 13, you have a mental knowledge of your net worth. We primarily use the words net worth in connection with celebrities, but knowing your net worth as an individual is equally important. All of the assets you own together make up your net worth. However, to arrive at a fixed figure, you must subtract your debts and the cost of your life. Your assets include your cash on hand, your bank accounts, and everything else you can exchange for cash. It typically consists of your real estate, the money in your retirement fund savings, or checking accounts, cars, stocks, bonds, business assets, etc. Your liabilities, on the other hand, include your debts and loans. There are tons of tools available online that can help you calculate your net worth. While this figure helps determine your financial health, knowing your net worth can also indicate where you can take urgent action to improve your financial condition immediately. Number 14. You don't replace things that aren't broken. Most people want to use the newest phones and cars, but financially educated individuals know there's no point in replacing their gadgets if they aren't broken. Come to think of it, why do you think you need the latest washing machine when your current one is working just fine? When you choose to keep replacing things that aren't broken, you've saved a good amount of money and prevented yourself from making a poor financial decision. Number 15. You know how to have fun without breaking the bank. When you think of fun, what immediately comes to your mind? Does it involve a giant party filled with beer and pizza, or maybe a hangout with your friends at the beach? Money need not be spent extravagantly to have fun. My friend, you can have a ton of fun on a minimal budget. And there you have it. There are 16 signs of a financially educated individual. Did any of these reflect your stance toward your finances? Well, this means you're doing something right. Think facts. And if nothing went well, it's a good time to start making better financial decisions. And if you watched the video up until this point, excellent. We've got a bonus to thank you for it. Number 16. You know your credit score. Knowing your credit score is essential for many reasons, but it's mostly needed to help you determine your financial health. Lenders will consider you for a loan based on your credit score. So if you've always ignored how important this is, now is an excellent time to change. This video has now ended. Please check out my next fantastic video.